An act to authorize the people of the Missouri Territory to form a constitution and state government, and for the admission of such state into the Union on an equal footing with the original states, and to prohibit slavery in certain territories. Be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America, in Congress assembled, that the inhabitants of that portion of the Missouri Territory included within the boundaries herein as are designated to be, and they are hereby authorized to form themselves a constitution and state government, and to assume such names as they deem proper, and the said state, when formed, shall be admitted into the Union upon equal footing on the original states in all respects whatsoever. Section 2. And be it further enacted that said state shall consist of all territory included within the following boundaries, to wit: beginning in the middle of the Mississippi River on the parallel of 36 degrees north of latitude, thence west along that parallel of latitude to the St. Francois River, thence up and following the course of that river in the middle of the main channel thereof, to the parallel of latitude of 36 degrees and 30 minutes, thence west along the same point to a point where the said parallel is intersected by a meridian line passing through the middle of the mouth of the Kansas River, and where the same empties into the Missouri River, thence from the point of foresaid north along the said meridian line to the intersection of the parallel of latitude which passes through the river Des Moines, making the said line correspond with the Indian boundary line, thence east from the point of intersection last aforesaid, along said parallel of latitude to the middle of the channel of the main fork of the said river Des Moines, thence down arid along the middle of the main channel of the said river Des Moines to the mouth of the same where it empties into the Mississippi River, thence due east to the middle of the channel of the Mississippi River, thence down and follow the course of the Mississippi River in the middle of the main channel thereof to the place beginning, provided the said state shall ratify the boundaries aforesaid, and provided so, that the said state shall have concurrent jurisdiction on the river Mississippi, and every other river boundary on the said state, so far as the said river shall form a common boundary to the river said, and any other states or states, now or hereafter to be formed and bounded by the same such rivers common to both, and that the river Mississippi and the navigable rivers and waters leading to the same shall be common highways, and ever free, as well as to the inhabitants of the said states, as other citizens of the United States, without any tax, duty imposed, or toll therefore imposed by the said state. Section 3. And be it further enacted that all free white male citizens of the United States who have arrived at the age of 21 years and have resided in said territory 3 months previous to the day of election, and all other persons qualified to vote for representatives to the General Assembly of said territory, shall be qualified to be elected, and they are hereby qualified and authorized to vote and choose representatives to and from a convention, who shall be apportioned among several counties as follows: from the county of Howard, 5 representatives; from the county of Cooper, 3 representatives; from the county of Montgomery, 2 representatives; from the county of Pike, 1 representative; from the county of Lincoln, 1 representative; from the county of St. Charles, 3 representatives; from the county of Franklin, 1 representative; from the county of St. Louis, 8 representatives; from the county of Jefferson, 1 representative; from the county of Washington, 3 representatives; from the county of St. Genevieve, 4 representatives; from the county of Madison, 1 representative; from the county of Cape Girardeau, 5 representatives; from the county of New Madrid, 2 representatives; from the county of Wayne and that portion of the county of Lawrence, which falls within the boundaries herein designated, 1 representative. and the election of the representatives aforesaid shall be holden on the first Monday and 2 succeeding days of May next throughout the several counties aforesaid on the said territory, and shall be in every respect held and conducted in the same manner and under the same regulations as prescribed by the laws of the said territory regulating elections therein for members of the General Assembly, except that the return of the election in that portion of Lawrence County included in the boundary aforesaid shall be made to the counties of Wayne as is to be provided in other cases under the laws of said territory. And be it further enacted that the members of the convention thus duly elected shall be, and they are hereby authorized to meet at the seat of government of said territory of the second Monday of the month of June next, and the said territory, when so assembled, shall have power and authority to adjourn to any other place from the said territory which to them shall deem best for the convenient transaction of the business, and which convention, when so met, shall first determine by a majority of the whole numbers elected whether it be or be not expedited at that time to form a constitution and state government of the people within the said territory, as is included within the boundaries above designated, and if it be deemed expedient, the convention shall be and hereby is authorized to form a constitution and state government, or if it is deemed more expedient, the said convention shall provide by ordinance for electing representatives to form a constitution or frame of government, which said representatives shall be chosen in such manner and in such proportions as they shall designate, and shall meet at such time and place prescribed as the said ordinance, and shall then therefore for the people of said territory within the boundaries aforesaid a constitution and state government, provided that the same, whenever formed, shall be republican and not repugnant to the Constitution of the United States, and that the legislature of said state shall never interfere with the primary disposal of the soil by the United States, nor with any regulations Congress may find necessary for securing the title in such soil to the bona fide purchasers, and that no tax shall be imposed on the lands of the property of the United States, and in no case shall non-resident proprietors be taxed higher than residents. And be it further enacted that until the next general census shall be taken, the state shall be entitled to one representative in the House of Representatives of the United States. And be it further enacted that following the propositions B and same are hereby offered to the convention of the said territory of Missouri when formed for their free acceptance or rejection, which, if accepted by the convention, shall be obligatory upon the United States. First, that section numbered 16 in every township, and when such section has been sold or otherwise disposed of, other lands equivalent thereto and incontiguous as may be, shall be granted to the state for the use of inhabitants of such townships for the use of schools. Second, that all salt springs not exceeding 12 in number, with 6 sections of land adjoining to each, shall be granted to the said state for the use of said state. The same to be selected by the legislature of said state on or before the first day of January in the year 1825, and the same, when so selected, to be used under such terms, conditions, and regulations as the legislature of said state shall direct, provided, if no salt spring, the right whereof now is or hereafter shall be confirmed or adjudicated to any individual or individuals, shall by the section be granted to the said state, and provided also that the legislature shall never sell or lease the same at any one time for a period longer than 10 years without the consent of Congress. Third, that 5% or the net proceedings of the sale of lands lying within said territory or state, and which shall be sold by Congress from and after the day of January next, after deducting all expenses incident to the same, shall be reserved for making public roads and canals, of which 3/5 shall be applied to those objects within the state under the direction of the legislature thereof, and the other 2/5 in defraying under the direction of Congress the expenses to be incurred in making of road or roads, canal or canals leading to the said state. Fourth, that 4 entire sections of land be and the same are hereby granted to said state for the purpose of fixing their seat of government thereon, which said sections shall, under the direction of legislature of said state, be located as near as may be in one body at any time, such as townships and ranges as the legislature aforesaid may select, or on any of the public lands of the United States, provided that such location shall be made prior to the public sale of lands of the United States surrounding such location. Third, the 36 sections, or one entire township, which shall be designated by the President of the United States, together with the others' lands heretofore reserved for that purpose, shall be reserved for the use of a seminary of learning and vested in the legislature of said state, to be approved solely to the use of such seminary by said legislature, provided that the 5 foregoing propositions herein offered are on the condition that the convenient convention of said state shall provide by an ordinance irrevocable without the consent of the United States, that every and each tract of land sold by the United States from and after the first day of January next shall remain exempt from any tax laid by order or under the authority of state, whether for state, county, township, or other purpose whatever, for the term of 5 years from and after the day of sale, and further that the bounty lands granted or hereafter to be granted for military services during the late war shall, while they continue to be held by the patentees or their heirs, remain exempt as aforesaid from taxation of the term of 3 years, from and after the date of the patents respectively. Section 7. And be it further enacted that in case a constitution and state government shall be formed by the people of the said territory of Missouri, the said constitution or representative, as soon thereafter as may be, shall cause a true and attested copy of such constitution or frame of state government, and shall be formed or provided to be transmitted to Congress. And be it further enacted that in all territory ceded by France to the United States under the name of Louisiana, which lies north of 36 degrees and 30 minutes north latitude, not included within the limits of the state, contemplated this act, slavery and involuntary servitude, otherwise than in the punishment of crimes whereof all parties shall have been duly convicted, shall be and is hereby forever prohibited, provided always that any person escaping into the same, from whom labor or service is lawfully claimed in any territory of the United States, such fugitive may be lawfully reclaimed and conveyed to the person claiming his or her labor or services aforesaid. Approved March 6, 1820.